Corsair Gaming is an American computer peripherals and hardware company headquartered in Fremont, California. Company is designing and selling a range of products for computers, including high-speed DRAM modules, ATX power supplies, USB flash drivers, CPU, GPU, and also such things as computer cases, solid-state drives, and so on. Corsair Gaming is a global leader in manufacturing and developing high-performance products for gamers, content creators, PC fanatics alike, and their 25 years of experience in the industry and vast array of products position Corsair to be the dominant brand in the rapidly growing gaming and streaming industry. Right now, let's compare together both pros and cons of investing in Corsair. Starting with advantages, recent situation with pandemic definitely has brought a great tailwind in the rapid expansion of the gaming and streaming industry that also been a major catalyst for Corsair. Right now we can see that Corsair's dominance is global, operating across the America, Europe, Middle East and Asia Pacific. Corsair is operating within an industry that is really booming in new users. It's now estimated that 1/3 of the global population is playing video games. It's about 2.6 billion gamers, and it's right now generating a combined revenue of $159 billion in 2020, a 9% increase year over year from $145 billion last year. Corsair's dominance in the industry is highlighted by its rapid growth that outpaces the industry's overall growth. Revenue grew to $1.7 billion in 2020, a 55% year-over-year increase, and their dominance was also highlighted by a crossover to profitability in 2020. Among tailwinds driving this growth include casual and competitive gaming, improvement of Wi-Fi, 5G implementation, viewership of esports and content creators, and also recent global lockdowns that made individuals to turn towards virtual worlds for social interaction as they were forced to stay inside. So recently the earnings season was maybe not the best for Corsair gaming because this economy has opened after these lockdowns, but it's just a little hiccup on the way to higher growths. Consumers will flock to activities that they weren't able to do during COVID, but they will still return to their homes at night and probably play video games. Very important for Corsair's growth is management team that has strengthened the company through its acquisitions in recent years. Look at prospering company Elgato and also Origin PC and SCUF and Gamer Sensei. There are brands that make Corsair strengthening in power and its dominance among other players. So Corsair, thanks to those acquisitions, has launched some great new products in the last quarter, bringing the total to 75 for the year. Among competition, we may point out few brands that are widely known to wider audience. That is for example, Pegatron, that is a company manufacturing computing devices, consumer electronics and communication devices, and also Gigabyte, that is a company providing consumer business gaming and cloud system. Getting forward, we just got to some risk of Corsair's investment, and the first one is that Corsair is revolving around the industry that is a quickly changing environment, and the newest tech often becomes obsolete within a calendar year, so we need to take a notice on that. On the other hand, CRSR reported a strong Q2 earnings While some investors may have been disappointed in the headline growth numbers decelerating on a sequential basis, revenue grew only 24% year over year versus Q1 21 was 71%. Also recently, due to shipping problems, as lots of Corsair's stuff is made in Asia, and due to supply disruptions, CRSR faced several headwinds during the quarter that increased costs and limited inventory. So it was also bottom line miss. For example, semiconductor shortage and the other, such as CPUs, PSUs and graphic cards, had also problems to deliver on time, and that's something that Corsair is struggling right now. Another major headwind for Corsair was increased logistical costs as of recent. Majority of the products obviously are shipped from Asia, so port delays, logistical issues, container prices quadrupling in some cases, that everything has added up to problems of Corsair company. And despite the strong growth in the high margin segment, overall gross margins due to this basically remained flat. We need to take a look at the structure of the company. The biggest risk when investing in Corsair, to some analysts, is the actions of the largest shareholder, EagleTree Capital, that they bought a majority stake in Corsair in 2017. The current stake in the company stands at 60% of the outstanding shares, and that may can create some risk. As first one, as recently, as our market was continuing to sell into strength the company, there are some suspicions that EagleTree Capital has took the opposite side, just trying to manipulate the market. So it's one of the problems that is also behind the company. In terms of recent valuation, the growth in their sales experienced through stay-at-home orders worldwide will probably not be a pull forward, but rather carry through the remainder of 2021 and into the future. So recent revenues from Q2 2020 was up 24%. So it was a strong growth in the quarter. Gross profit, on the other hand, was $153 million, an increase of $83 million, or 118% from Q4 2019. So to sum up this section, Corsair has excellent fundamentals anchored by robust growth and strong balance sheet, and also a positive free cash flow from operations. Look at adjusted EBITDA that grew 197% year over year in 2020, and they are also projecting 245 million in 2021 from 2013 in 2020. Recently, Corsair has also paid off its debt of $108 million and decreased the overall debt load by 16% to $270 million, while during the same time frame they raised their cash balance by 50% to 138 million. So Corsair's positive cash flow and strong balance sheet allow right now them to be self-sustaining, and that's something that makes this company very attractive. Needless to say, Corsair has also a very low capital expenditure margin. This allows the company to retain the majority of its cash flow, which and can be used to reinvest into developing new products. So in order to conclude those specifications from one and the other sides, Corsair is one of the best pure play in the rapidly expanding gaming and streaming industries. Right now they are growing at a rapid pace and already profitable, with expanding margins and an excellent balance sheet. So the company's operations are trading either possibly right direction, with higher margin products growing much faster than lower margin ones and becoming a larger part of the revenue mix. So that's something that has many growth catalysts that will probably act as tailwinds for future growth. So you might just get a viewpoint on where Corsair Gaming is heading to the future. But right now let's look at the nearest future. What are the most important technical points where we might find an entrance to our investment? Okay, so Corsair Gaming right now is trending lower after this huge spike during February's all-time highs. Afterwards, we've seen a downtrend to be set, and after this short squeezed spike, we just returned to this previous trend. So we need at first to confirm getting back to this uptrend in order to consider an investment. So right now we are just trading below $30. That is a quite low valuation for the company. As Corsair Gaming, as we just have looked through the fundamental analysis, but right now there are no specific signs of return. So when it comes to RSI and MACD, there's nothing to talk about it because the history of a stock is still very short. So we might just talk about the most important resistances and supports. So the most important resistance as of the day of 25th of August, the most important resistance right now is right at the 28.7 level, and afterwards at $31. So we may get back to this uptrend just after breaking this 28.6 level. Otherwise, the stock will just consolidate within this area or just continue the trend lower. So Corsair Gaming might be a great bet in the future, but we need to see some major moves that may justify its probable return to an uptrend.